Russell Barth. I'm a medical marijuana license holder, activist, artist, author, and comedian. We've gathered today to draw attention of MPs, the media, and the public to the 10-year-long fiasco being perpetrated by Health Canada. Our intent is to draw attention to the wildly dysfunctional and onerous medical marijuana regulations, the effect it is having on sick and dying Canadians, and to discuss possible solutions to the problem. Some of us want the unconstitutional program to be repaired. Some want the program and the unconstitutional prohibition which it props up completely abolished. Making themselves available to MPs and the media are some of Canada's who's who. Among them we have longtime medical marijuana license holder Alison Murden, best known for her work with law enforcement against prohibition. We have licensed medical marijuana producer Adam Greenblatt from Montreal. We have Haley Rose from BC. She's probably the youngest patient granted a permit, and she's the namesake of a cannabis strain called Haley's Comet. We have Debbie Stulz-Giffen from Halifax. She's the chair of the Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana. We have Tamara Cartwright from Lethbridge. She's the organizer of the last 3 medical marijuana marches in Lethbridge, Alberta. And we have Todd Kagan from Toronto, Derek Pedro, Amy Brown, Derek Francisco, and many, many others. And my wife, Christine Lowe, and myself. We're authors of the world's first children's book about medical marijuana called Mommy's Funny Medicine. And we also have a video on YouTube of my wife having a seizure that has over 1.17 million hits on it. So we've a little crammed for time because we have 4 people instead of 3, so I'm just going to turn it right over to Alison Murray.
Super, it's going to take me 10 minutes to get out of my chair. Yes.
Yeah, all right, there we go.
Good morning, everybody. A note to all of our Canadian members of Parliament and media producers from around the world. The issue I'm about to address is very serious. It encompasses all people of every culture, and we need your help. My name is Alison Murden, and I am one of Canada's first medical marijuana patients from 1994. The Harper government and our Canadian politicians have let the critically and chronically ill people who choose to consume cannabis as medicine down in this country. It is terribly hurtful that we don't have the help and the government does not have the political will to change the program we have and fix it. Right now we have just over 7,000 people who have been given ministerial licenses to use cannabis as medicine in Canada since the inception of this program in 1999-2000. Doctors in Canada and around the world are lacking scientific confirmation when it comes to supporting our choice of medicine. We would like to take the fear away from the doctors around the world who are afraid to support people like us for all the wrong reasons. Don't we have any healing doctors anymore? What is so sad is that I can see this going the way of the Ledane Commission from 1973 and never ending. Bureaucrats at Health Canada without a medical practitioner's license are the ones who decide who does and does not receive a medical marijuana license in Canada. Does this government have an agenda we should be aware of? Just how does a bureaucrat arbitrarily choose which doctor and his or her patients receive a marijuana license? And what are these hoops we have to jump through to even receive a license? Pharmaceutical companies are snooping in the dark to see what's in it for them. They would much rather we take all of their pills, but to cover themselves, they have spent more money on lawyers and patents rather than out and out legalize this plant. Doesn't make much sense to me. Either way, they profit. I can tell you all, we feel abandoned by our country. We are charged like criminals for our medicine by police everywhere. Our collective governments say the medical benefits of cannabis are anecdotal, but they won't put a penny into research to prove, to be sure. Approve it one way or another, but prove it once and for all. Our Medical Marijuana Access Program, or MMAR, in Canada is a farce. Over the last decade or more, our dealings with Health Canada officials in this program have caused tremendous stress, anxiety, and unnecessary hardship to almost every patient. Health Canada officials have been telling us for over 10 years that our doctors should limit our daily amount of medical cannabis to 1 to 3 grams a day. For those of you interested, my allotted amount of daily cannabis is 50 grams, 50, or 2 full lunch baggies every day. And I could possibly even go higher as I am able to eliminate more and more of my pharmaceuticals every day. I am not alone. I have consumed just over 20 grams of cannabis this morning by food, vaporizing, and cigarette form, all before again I came to Parliament Hill today. But those of you who are around in 1999-2000, the first wave of legally licensed cannabis patients in Canada were relentless in this battle to secure and create a program for people in Canada, along with their medical practitioners supporting them. This is still not reality. These critically and chronically ill people showed more passion, desire for change, and determination to get what we wanted. None of this complacency we see today. Our frustration and our health has reached a level of helplessness. All because every government continues to lack the courage we need to navigate us through this complex and sensitive issue. Please, as I stated so clearly when I started to speak, we cannot do this alone. We are pleading with our doctors and our federal politicians to help us give the people of Canada and around the world who choose cannabis as medicine the much-needed help and the well-deserved respect that we have all earned. Together, we will make a difference. Thank you.
Je m'appelle Adam Greenblatt. Je suis venu ici aujourd'hui en tant que simple citoyen canadien. J'ai été témoin des incroyables applications thérapeutiques du cannabis sous forme naturelle. Malheureusement, j'ai également été témoin des horribles conséquences liées à sa prohibition. Je suis un producteur de cannabis désigné pour deux patients, l'un d'eux étant mon père qui souffre de la sclérose en plaques depuis plus de 26 ans. Nous représentons la vaste communauté de Canadiens qui utilisent le cannabis pour alléger leur souffrance. Nous sommes ici pour dénoncer le programme d'accès déficient basé sur le règlement sur l'accès à la marijuana à des fins médicales. Aussi, nous voulons dénoncer le projet de loi S10 mis de l'avant par les conservateurs qui vise à imposer des peines minimales obligatoires pour la culture d'aussi peu que 6 plantes de cannabis. Il y a 10 ans, le règlement sur l'accès à la marijuana à des fins médicales fut créé pour offrir une option légale aux Canadiens ayant besoin de consommer du cannabis pour des raisons médicales. Malheureusement, ce règlement n'est pas issu d'un gouvernement de bonne foi, mais d'une ordonnance de la Cour qui, pour protéger les droits et la sécurité des patients, força Santé Canada à créer ce programme. 10 ans plus tard, le règlement sur l'accès à la marijuana à des fins médicales a été déclaré inconstitutionnel à plusieurs reprises pour avoir créé arbitrairement des empêchements à l'accès ainsi que pour avoir violé les droits des patients. 10 ans plus tard, la majorité des Canadiens qui utilisent le cannabis pour leur souffrance est sans droit légal et doit enfreindre la loi pour s'approvisionner. 10 ans plus tard, les centres compassion et autres dispensaires de cannabis à des fins médicales ne sont toujours pas reconnus par Santé Canada et doivent constamment faire face aux forces de l'ordre. 10 ans plus tard, il est toujours plus facile d'obtenir un permis de porte d'armes qu'un permis pour l'utilisation de cannabis à des fins thérapeutiques. Les problèmes liés au règlement sur l'accès à la marijuana à des fins médicales semblent sans fin. De fait, ils ne seront jamais résolus tant que le cannabis est inclus dans la loi réglementant certaines drogues et autres substances. Cette approche est idéologiquement et scientifiquement erronée et est la raison pour laquelle notre communauté est marginalisée et nos droits violés. C'est à cause de la prohibition du cannabis que l'on doit se battre autant pour avoir accès à nos médicaments. Les peines minimales obligatoires telles que proposées dans le projet de loi S10, ne feront que rendre plus dangereux et violent le marché du cannabis en attirant le crime organisé qui reste de glace face à une éventuelle sentence derrière les barreaux. De plus, les petits producteurs indépendants, ne pouvant pas risquer la peine minimale, seront forcés de laisser place au crime organisé et au gangstérisme. Les Canadiens qui utilisent le cannabis à des fins thérapeutiques seront les plus affectés par S10. Notre communauté s'en trouvera encore plus marginalisée et calomniée. Il ne peut y avoir un accès sécuritaire à ce médicament tant que le cannabis n'est pas rayé dans la loi réglementant certaines drogues et autres substances. La majorité des Canadiens endossent la légalisation et la réglementation du cannabis. Une minorité de Canadiens endossent ce gouvernement. La guerre contre nos médicaments doit cesser immédiatement. Merci.
Merci. My name is Carolyn Bennett. I'm the Member of Parliament for St. Paul's and a physician. 10 years ago, we put in place a government program, a legal government program, that would allow patients, sick patients, to have access to a medicine that worked for them. We now are seeing a perfect storm of administrative delays that have these patients with a license waiting 4 to 6 months till the point that it expires, and then they are criminalized because they don't have a license because the government's backlogs and lack of resources have put them there. This is the same as you or I having a license to drive our car that you have to renew every year, and for the government to then decide that you could either not drive your car or actually drive without a license because of their problem, not having as many people put to actually renew the license as is needed by the patients who so severely need these drugs. As a physician, I had many patients who had huge success using medical marijuana, particularly those with MS. We are calling upon this government to fix right now the administrative delays and get these people their licenses so they are not at risk of criminalization. The perfect storm has come because S10 is on the horizon, which would have a mandatory minimum, which would not even allow a judge to decide that this was a sick patient needing this medicine, and would mean that this sick patient would have a minimum sentence of imprisonment.
18 months for making marijuana brownies.
18 months for making a marijuana brownie.
One plant in a rented unit will get you 9 months.
So this is totally ridiculous. We are calling upon the government of Canada to fix the delays and allow these people who up till now have been totally legal in having a license to get their medicines and grow their medicines, and as well to have a look at the kinds of changes that need to be to this program. The cannabis provided by the government of Canada is not sufficient for lots of the patients. A lot of the patients are too sick to grow their own. We actually have to fix some of these problems in order to go forward. But in the meantime, we are calling on the government to actually deem to have renewed all of the licenses right now so that none of these patients are actually at risk of criminalization. We call on Minister Glucock. We call on the Minister Nicholson. You have got, and Minister Day, you've got to stop this right now while these sick patients are waiting. You are doing nothing. So please, get on with it.
Thank you.
We'll take questions. Just to remind everybody, we have a press conference at 10:30.